Welcome, everybody, to another Coach's Corner podcast. The Academy of Holy Angels head coach Jim Gunderson joins us. Busy day as always. I know you have to kind of bob and weave your way through your schedule with school and coaching football to be able to join us. So thanks a lot for taking the time out, Jim.
Thanks for having me.
Well, how about that weekend? 30-0 win over the St. Louis Park Orioles after a scoreless first period, a defensive tussle. Your club broke free for a couple of touchdowns in the second quarter and continued to find your flow. There are a lot of things I want to talk to you about this one, but first, let's just get your overall perspective of last week's game and how you felt the club performed.
I thought the guys played really well. I think it was, a battle of two strong defenses out there, and it came down to winning the field position. So I was pleased with our kickoff team, our punt team, and our punt return team, and kind of flipping the field position to set up the scores for us.
Really leading the way on the field position was the defensive play. I mean, there was -9 yards on the ground gained by St. Louis Park. I think, Jim, they actually ended up I don't know if they even picked up a first down after the first quarter. I can barely remember that. And then you held them to 7 of 25 in passing for 63 yards. Can you talk about the defensive line? You're rushing three, and all three seem to be getting through unscathed on just about every play, run or pass.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with the nose guard, Jason Miller, up the middle. He's commanding double teams, so that leaves Alex Gillard, our kind of speed rush, explosive pass rusher, single blocked, and he kind of had a good day. He had 4 sacks, number of tackles, and he's just a hard worker. And then junior Jack Hendrickson also had a great game, just utilizing his speed. But it all kind of was set up by Jason Miller, just plugging up the A-gaps. Just
pounding away there. Yeah, you're right. And for Gillard, he was in on 7 tackles, forced a fumble as well. Hendrickson in the backfield all night long. He also was credited for an interception on the game as well. Then on the offensive side of the ball, Joseph Heimbold, 12 of 20 for 166 yards and a touchdown. That strike he had was a pretty thing to watch in the second quarter when he connected with, I believe, was that Cosmic?
John Cosmic.
Yeah, John Cosmic.
John Cosmic ran a good slant. He's a really speedy 6'3" receiver who actually went to state in the 110 hurdles. So he's got some speed. He's got some long strides. So he's a guy that hasn't been kind of utilized enough, but that's certainly a weapon that we have. And I thought Joe threw the ball pretty well against a really stingy defense.
They really were stingy, and they kept that thing very interesting. Even after the first half, it was not. It was still just a 14-0 game, and your club pulled away in the third and fourth quarter. From Heimbold's perspective, he again led your team in rushing with 107 yards on the ground, along with 22 carries and 1 touchdown. But he had a scare there. He got hit low on the knee, and that was a little bit of an awkward moment, but it looks like he shook that off. Is he going to be okay?
Yeah. He just wound up with a knee bruise, but they were really tackling low inside the box, and you kind of see that on the perimeter with a lot of teams when your cornerback kind of goes low on a bigger guy and stuff like that. But while there's low tackles right inside between the tackles, that kind of give a couple of our guys some bumps and bruises on their knees.
Well, another one was Jack Anderson. He was down a couple of times.
Yep. So he got it a couple times, and it's a tough position to be in as a kid, especially between the tackles.
Well, that's a hold your breath situation without a doubt. So you've got practice this week. I know you're battling a cold. Are you wearing the surgical mask to keep the kids from getting sick?
No, not at all. Hasn't gotten to that point yet.
Well, okay, health is so important. So coming up, you've got the DeLaSalle Islanders, who came off a tough loss to the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights that was viewed right here on the CatholicSportsNetwork.org. And they scored their share of points too, but really the Red Knights were impressive offensively. Were there things that you were able to pick up on when you looked at that tape?
Yeah. I mean, DeLaSalle has some really good athletes that are kind of game-breaking type athletes with just how fast they are. They've got, their 2 D1 recruits that are every bit those guys, and Benilde just really played great defensively, and we're able to capitalize on some big plays, and that kind of flipped the game for DeLaSalle. And DeLaSalle wasn't connecting on a few of their pass plays. They had a long touchdown called back for a hold. So, the game just kind of turned in BSM's favor. But DeLaSalle is definitely much better than that score indicated.
So don't, as you always tell the players, don't watch the scoreboard, because that isn't going to win you games, right? I mean, it's a game of matchups, and you never know what's going to happen on any given day. And the way your team is playing, though, I have to ask you this. This would be the midway point of the season after Friday night. Are they progressing to the terms of what you'd like to see them do? I know there's a lot of work to do yet, but are you happy with what you're seeing so far?
Yeah, I mean, the boys we're really working hard, and we've set a number of benchmarks that we wanted to achieve, incremental goals throughout the year. And they've really, always rose to the occasion, and they've accepted the challenges and have achieved those benchmarks thus far. But we got a huge benchmark test on Friday. So I'm confident in their efforts throughout practice that they're going to give it their best go.
We'll keep our eyes on that. We'll have that one live on the CatholicSportsNetwork.org. Jim, back to work you go. Get healthy. Look forward to seeing you on Friday, as always.
All right. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you, Jim. Jim Gunderson on the Coach's Corner from the Academy of Holy Angels right here on the CatholicSportsNetwork.org. We'll be back with another installment next week. So long, everybody.